let's go. Alright, nobody's watching yet, but we're going to start with an Umpqua 3/0 straight eye, wide gap, whatever, saltwater hook. I'm going to use a small white, it don't really matter what color, but I'm going to use a small white lead eye on this one. Small white lead eye. Let's get it started on here. That should be, yep, it's pretty close. Now it's going to start doing some cross wraps, going under the hook and over the eye. Now I'm going to go over the hook and under the eye and do like some little helicopter kind of wraps just to tighten those cross wraps up. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a thread base, a little bit of a thread base down the hook. Alright, before I forget, because sometimes I do till later, I'll go ahead and throw some glue over the thread on the eye right here. Just so I don't forget to do that. I'll do it later. I'm going to hit this with ultraviolet light just to dry that glue that we just put over the thread. Just kind of want to lock those eyes. Just lock those eyes in so they're not spinning when you start catching fish. That'll be good enough on that. Alright, I'm going to start with the tail. Start with the tail of what we're doing. So this is actually a newer, this is probably going to be backwards on the camera, but it's Fanatics Fly Company. This is a newer, well, there's their website's right there, fanaticsflycompany.com or co.com. It's a newer company for fly tying supplies, but I've used some of their stuff and it's pretty good. So this right here I think is olive, right? Yeah. They call this their olive. It's just a craft fur. We're going to grab a chunk of that just to use for the tail right here. My little my little hands right there where I was taking pictures earlier of completed flies. Alright. Throw this tail on there. I figured if I was going to tie some flies anyway, which I was sitting here doing, I might as well go live twisted on me just a little bit, but it's fine. That will be just fine because you won't see it anyway. All right, y'all. That's hilarious. Tying some flies, man. But I'm working on. You know how it is. I got 2 boxes like this right here, completely full already, and I'm working on my 3rd box. But here's one side I'm working on right here. What's up, Mindset? Here's which I'm gonna bring some of these home to Georgia when I come. But these are Topwater, all Topwater flies. Been working on those. But anyway, I'm about to tie a crab fly that I basically just came up with today. Went to the fly shop, got a few little things, and just kind of came up with this one today. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, because y'all know how I like those black stripes on the tail. We're going to go ahead and throw some black stripes on this tail right here. If y'all been watching me for a while, I like putting those black stripes in there a lot of times. Alright, now I'm going to take some, this is actually just Marabou. This Marabou, which I don't use a lot. I've got a bunch of it, and I just don't use it a lot. But I'm going to grab a piece of this, and we're going to put this down here. It's going to add a little bit more action and just a little bit more color. This is it right here. On this tail right here. I got my fan on over there, y'all, because whenever I tie flies and I turn the light on and all that stuff, it gets hot. So I end up burning up while I'm doing this. I got the fan on, it's blowing this Marabou all over the place. Alright, I'm going to set this on here. Just adding a little poofiness to that. I'm cute. I don't think so. Alright. While we got that down there, I'm going to throw some olive color flash on there, just to give a little flash off the tail. I only need a few strands off here because we're gonna double it over. So I got like, what's this? This is like four strands of flash right here. Don't need a lot. Gonna double it over anyway. Cut that off. That fan's kind of getting in the way, but it gets hot sitting here tying flies. Alright, we're going to get that started. And now I'm going to take that little bit of flash and I'm going to put it parallel. I'm going to pull it down like right here, parallel with the rest of the fly, and go ahead and tighten it down a bit. Just adding just a little bit of flash to that tail. Not much. Y'all, let me kill this fan. Sorry, y'all. That fan was just blowing this Marabou all over the place. Alright, y'all, we're going to throw some crab eyes on here. We're going to put a couple of eyes right here sticking off the back of this thing. which, I mean, in all honesty, will probably be covered up anyway, in the water or whatever, but it'll look cool anyway, and looking cool is like half the battle. So we got some crab eyes right here. I'm gonna cut these down because you don't need the whole thing. So somewhere right around in there. Now I'll finish trimming it down here in a second. Like that. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and tie this one on. Go ahead and cut that end off. It's just going to be a pain if I don't. Oh, sorry y'all. I hit the light stand / phone right there just then. I've got the whole big setup with the OBS and all that crazy stuff to do a full horizontal picture. The only thing about that is it don't show up in the live feed if you do that. So I don't get as many views if I use the full screen. So if you do vertical like this, and here's a little trick, here's a little thing, I don't know if you know if you got a YouTube channel or whatever, but if you go live on vertical like this, it shows up in the live feeds, or in the shorts live feeds for YouTube. But if you don't, it don't show up on the shorts feed, so you get less views. I got the fan off and that thing is still a pain. I'm gonna add some glue right here in a second on this. Sorry y'all. I'm gonna add some glue on these eyes right here for a second, which helps hold them down as soon as I get through tying them off right here. That looks okay for the eyeballs. Y'all see the little eyeballs on the crab? It'll start coming together here in just a second, I promise. I hope so anyway. I just came up with this fly today, so if it sucks, y'all, if it's terrible, I apologize. But I think it'll work. I'll be using it this week. I'll be testing it this week. Just add some glue right there on top of that, where I tied those eyes down. Yep, that's pretty dry already. All right. Now we're gonna add a couple of little crab legs to it, y'all, before we do the main body. And then the main body it's a little trickier. I'll show y'all how I do it. So we're just gonna take some crazy legs like this right here, And since I was tying earlier, I've already pulled 2 off. So this right here is just 2 crazy legs like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tie an overhand knot. I don't know if y'all can tell. There's like a pink where it meets the green right here. We're just going to tie an overhand knot to where that meets each other. When you start tying flies, y'all, and especially when you start using the feathers and stuff, you got material flying everywhere. And sometimes it's a pain, but it's just the way it is. All right, so we tied an overhand knot right there where the pink kind of meets the green. You can use whatever color. I'm just going with like a more of a natural color. Then we're going to tie an overhand knot right here, kind of where the pink meets the green. Now, these are going to be crab claws. I'm not leaving them long like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one long and one short. So we'll go ahead and cut that one kind of short. Made that one kind of long. So you have to use your imagination a little bit. That's a little crab claw. Alright. Another little crab claw right there. And if you notice, it's all in one piece. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have to turn that fan off, but then I'm really going to be hot. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to turn this fan off. Alright, sorry. I turned the fan off, but I turned my air down so that way it don't get super hot. That Marabou just flies everywhere. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take these little crab claws right here that we just made, and we are going to put them under the thread like this right here. I'm going to pull them up here. They don't have to be perfect, actually. If you look at most crabs, one of their little legs, their main legs with the pinchers is going to be longer than the other. All right, and then we're going to get that started right here. Then I'm going to pull the legs down to the side like this right here, and go ahead and wrap it up. Wrap it up, B. Alright, like that. No, it's hard to tell. It's going to come together though, y'all. So I got my little crab legs right there hanging down now. We got our eyes on the crab. We got kind of like our little tail on the crab. Alright, now we're going to do the body. And I'll show y'all. The body is like the trickiest part. So, Emma, stop. My dog's over here licking. I don't want to hear it. I was going to show y'all what I'm using. That's not it. That's not it either. Alright, I can't find the package for the stuff I'm using, but basically it's Emma, stop it. It's a little what you call it? I can't think what it's called. It's basically fibers, but this is in a blue crab color. I wish I had the package right here, which I'm sure I do somewhere. Anyway, all right, y'all, we're going to take this right here, and we are going to take a chunk of it like this, couple of inches of it and cut that off. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker this time. I can tell where I've already used this, where I've been cutting. Alright, y'all. I'm going to grab a couple of inches of it, cut that off. You can actually do where you fold that over and cut it all off at one time. I'm not going to do that. Alright, we're going to take the fly. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a line of glue right down the center of the fly. And just let that chill out. Let it sit there. Now we're going to take our, what you call it, we got right here, our fibers. Set that on the fly. And I'm going to get a couple of wraps on it. Oops. Fly moved. Alright, I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to get a couple of wraps the other direction. Alright, now I'm going to kind of hold this back out of the way like that and do like a little wrap in the front of it. Alright, I'm going to clip this out of the way. With my very scientific clip that I found. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do exactly what we just did. I'm going to take another couple of inches of fiber right here. Cut that. And we have blue crabs down here in Louisiana, y'all. They're called blue crab. So this is just kind of, you know, kind of mocking a blue crab, I guess. We're going to do the same thing we just did, y'all. Put that right here. I'm going to pull this out of the way. And do the same thing. Wrap this up like I just wrapped the other side. Same thing, I'm going to pull this out of the way. And do just a little bit of a thread dam in front of it. You can use a clothespin for this, which is actually the best thing. I just couldn't find any. I don't have any clothespins. So I'm having to clip it back with that. But if you got one of those wooden clothespins or whatever, that's like the best thing to clip it back with. All right, we're going to do that one more time. So yet another chunk of fibers right here, everybody. Same thing, about 2 inches. And these fibers kind of go everywhere. We're going to make them look better here in just a second. Right now, they're just kind of all over the place. And they get all over everything when you're sitting here tying. They kind of get everywhere when you sit here tying with them. And this right here doesn't have to be perfect, and you'll see why here in a little bit, y'all. We're gonna go back and trim this up. And once we go back and trim it up, it looks a lot better. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and tie this off on the front. Where am I from? Well, I live in Louisiana. I'm a fishing guide down here. Alright. I'm just gonna have to go pop my dog. She's over here licking the other dog like crazy for some reason. I know that's what they do, but I messed that last tie up because I looked over there at her whenever I started tying, so I kind of messed that tie up. But I'm about to trim this up right here. Yeah, I messed that tie up. Dang it. Alright. Stop it. Now, y'all, it looks like a mess. But we're not done. So right now it just kind of looks like a Fraggle Rock. That's what it looks like, but we're not done. Alright, so now we're going to take all this right here that we just tied on there. You can see it's like all crazy. I'm going to spread this out. So right now it looks like a crazy butterfly or something. Alright, y'all, and we're going to trim this back and give it more of a crab appearance. So I got scissors right here. And I always have to play with this. You're gonna be trimming on it for a little bit to get it perfect, you know. Then basically, we just cut off one side. We're going to trim this other side. So this part right here, I know it's hard to probably to see me do this or watch me do all this on camera. We're basically just trimming this fly up. And we're going to kind of flatten it out. It's kind of going everywhere right here. We're going to flatten that out a little bit. We've almost got it. Almost got it where we want it. So this is getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close right there. And of course you can keep trimming on that. But just a simple little, and you can also take a brush. I got a toothbrush right here, y'all. You can use this or a fiber brush or whatever, and that'll kind of help straighten some of that out so you can see what you need to trim off there to get it all perfect looking. Because these little fibers, man, they just, you trim and it's like more appear. Like this right here. I just trimmed this and it already, you just have to mess with it till you get it perfect like you want it. So that's basically a little crab fly. And then what I'm about to do is I'm about to add a bead. I'm sorry, the camera's up here, sorry. I'm about to add a little bead of glue down through here. We're going to do that, and then we're going to hit it with the ultraviolet light, and that'll just help lock in that stuff that we just put on there. Yeah, I got fibers everywhere. I got fibers all over the place. Hit that with the ultraviolet light. I'm in America, y'all. I'm not in India. I'm over here in America. Alright, so we are going to hit that with ultraviolet light, kind of lock those threads in. I'm going to turn it over, do the same thing on the bottom. Just run a bead down through there. Hit that with ultraviolet light. Almost forgot. Hit the where you tied the which my tie off, like I said, looks terrible because as I was tying it off, I looked over and had some fibers get in there, but the fish don't care. Sorry, y'all. That's right here with the ultraviolet light. And there we go, y'all. Little blue crab, and you can keep trimming on this thing and trim this up, you know, trim the body up, you know, to get it as perfect as you want. And you know, you can make it as flat and as symmetrical as you want to. Some people like a rounded body, some people like it flat, you know, triangular shape, but that will catch a big old redfish, I guarantee it. So, all right, y'all give me a thumbs up for my fly, and subscribe, and let's tie another one real quick. All right, that one came out pretty good. I said you can keep trimming that stuff and working on that like forever to trim it up and make as perfect looking as you want. With those fibers though, when you start catching fish, you know, they're gonna pull every which way anyway. So it's really gonna only look perfect until you catch the first fish. And then the fly won't tear up, but it just won't look perfect anymore. All right, let's tie another one, y'all. I think I'm gonna tie one more of those. Anybody watching? Was it like 10 people watching? If y'all hit the thumbs up, it'll help me out. It'll send it out through the algorithm, and I'll get more people watching, y'all. All right, let's tie another one of those. Let me find my hooks wherever I put them. All right, here's my hooks right here. Hey everybody, thank y'all for watching. From all over the world, I really appreciate it. All right, in case you missed it, I'm going to tie another one of those crab flies that we just tied. So we're going to tie another one, starting off with an Umpqua. This is probably backwards on camera, but it's an Umpqua 2/0 hook. Saltwater, of course. This is what it looks like. I really like the, I'm sorry, it's a 3/0 hook. I really like the curve on these. I use these a lot. All right, so we're going to start off with that. So I'm going to start off by putting a little bit of a thread base. Putting a little bit of thread base right here down the hook. All right, I'm going to grab a small white. It don't really matter what color, but I'm using white, a little small white lead eye right here. Go ahead and get that started. I'll move my hand out of the way in just a second after I get this started on here. All right. They're just getting it started there. All right, now we're gonna do some wraps, just some cross wraps. So we're gonna go under the hook, over the eye, just several times. I don't really have a set amount. Now I'm gonna go under the eye and over the hook, just to tighten those cross wraps down. Hey Alberto, thank y'all for watching. If y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, all that cool stuff. Just like you hear from every other YouTuber, it does help me out trying to grow the channel. I don't just tie flies, y'all. I'm a fishing guide in Louisiana. I've got hundreds of actual fishing videos on my channel, so if you like fishing, you can go in there and watch some of those. All right, we're gonna throw some glue on the threads right here where we just put the eyes on. Hit that with an ultraviolet light. It'll dry that glue off pretty quick. Or not off, but it'll dry that glue pretty quick. Alright, now we're going to start with the tail of the fly. So I've got some, this is by Fanatics Fly Company right here. This is the Cajun Craft Fur. fanaticsflycompany.com. Of course, I buy it here at my local fly shop, which is No Wake Outfitters. Alright, y'all, we're going to take some crafting fur. We're going to cut a piece of that off, and that's going to be the tail section, or part of the tail section on this fly. Alright. Set that on here. Go ahead and run that down. Like that. Now I'm going to take a black Sharpie. If y'all are new to watching, or if y'all watching, if y'all please hit the thumbs up button. It'll send it out across the algorithm. Cat, you're going to have to move. It'll... Alright, jump down. Jump down. Time flies. Move. Get. It'll send it out across the algorithm, and more people will tune in, which will help me out a lot, y'all. Trying to grow the channel. So, alright, we're going to throw some black stripes on here. I just like doing that. So we threw some black stripes on the tail right there, y'all. Now I'm going to take a piece of... I'm going to put this back in the package real quick. I'm going to grab a Marabou feather if I can find where I just put it. Y'all, if you tie flies, you know what I'm talking about. If you're gonna tie flies, you're gonna find out. It don't take but just a second to have a miss. Like right now, I'm missing, which I'm not. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Oh, when you start tying flies, you get junk going everywhere, y'all. So we're gonna take a Marabou feather. This is in the I don't even know what color this is, but it's basically the same thing. It's like an olive color. So I'm just gonna grab one. One Marabou feather right here. And I don't need the whole thing. So I'm gonna cut off some of that. I'm gonna lay this right here. Just adding a little bit more action. And all right there to the fly. All right, now I'm going to grab some flash. Guess what color flash? Olive. We're going to grab some olive flash. We only need a few strands of it. So I'm going to grab however many that is. Grab a few strands of flash right here, cut that off. We're going to wrap it under our thread like so. Hold it up out of the way just to get a couple of wraps to get it started. Now I'm going to take and pull this down to the sides. Wrap it up. Just to add a little shine to it. Alright, now we're going to add our eyes to the fly, y'all. Let me see if I happen to have, I don't know if I do. I don't. Alright, so we're going to add our little crab, crustacean eyes, whatever they're called right here to it. So I'm going to grab two of these right here. And y'all, if y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe. If y'all watching, hit the like button. All the cool stuff like that you always hear everybody say. Got two eyes right here, y'all, or miniature drumsticks. Alright. We'll go ahead and just kind of get these started on, or get this started on here. You can adjust the length of these as you time or after you time on there. We got one of our eyes starling. So right now he's just a one-eyed crab. And then we're going to tie the other one on here. I'm going to cut some of that off because it's a pain. It's a pain to wrap. Whoops. Alright, I kind of got those started. Now I'm going to cut that end off. And then I'm going to take these two little pieces like this right here. I'm going to hold them down and wrap those. You don't really have to hold them. Well, you can. But the thread's gonna, if you start wrapping it like that, it's gonna hold them anyway. But anyway, we're gonna wrap those. Alright, so we got some little crab eyes on there like that. I'm gonna put a drop of glue right here. Just over that thread. Hit that with a light. If y'all are new to the channel, y'all, please subscribe. It takes like just a second, but it helps me a lot. I've been doing YouTube for years and years and years, but the channel's just kind of slowly growing. If you like fishing, I've got hundreds of fishing videos on my channel, y'all. You might see a famous person on there if you watch it, but I don't want to give it away, so you'll have to watch it and figure it out. Alright, now oh, the legs. We gotta do the legs, y'all. Alright, so we're gonna take some some crazy legs right here. We only need 2 of them. We're going to grab 2 crazy legs. So just pull 2 of them off. So we have 2 crazy legs. If you can tell, this is kind of like an olive color with a little pink on the end. We're going to tie an overhand knot, and you want the head of the knot to kind of be where the pink meets the green. And of course you can adjust that as you tie it. We're just going to tie an overhand knot right here. Kind of where the pink meets the green. Like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side right here. Overhand knot where the pink meets the green. And these are about to be crab claws. You just have to use your imagination. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut, these are going to be the claws right here. We're going to cut one of these a little bit longer than the other one. Because if you look at crabs, they're going to have like a long claw and a short claw. So there's one right there. We're going to do the same thing right here. Like a short claw and a long claw. So these are going to be our crab legs right here. Alright, y'all. We're going to put this under the thread like this right here. Hold it up here like this. And we're going to get them started with a couple of wraps. And then I'm going to hold these down kind of parallel with the fly. And then do some more wraps on it. So there we got some little crab legs on there, y'all. Alright. Now we're gonna do the body of the fly. This is like the most tedious part. If you just watched me tie the other one a few minutes ago, I figured I'm gonna tie a couple of these and then I'll move on to something else. But I'm entering my busy season right now. So starting in September, because I'm a fishing guide down here in Louisiana, y'all. So starting in September is when we get slammed down here with fishing charters. I do have some spots available in September. If you want to book a trip, you can go to my website and come over here and do a trip. But starting in September generally is when we get really busy. It'll be I do fly fishing and regular spinning rod fishing, but during the winter time, fall and winter, I do more fly fishing charters than anything. That's usually what people are booking. All right, y'all, we're grabbing some of these fibers right here. This is in a blue crab color, which happens to be the kind of crabs we have in Louisiana. Blue crab. We're gonna grab a chunk of this, and we're gonna cut off. You really don't even need that much. We're gonna cut off about 2 inches right here. That's all you need is about 2 inches. That's what she's Michael Scott. All right. So we got about 2 inches of fiber right here, and we're gonna tie this in the middle. So we're gonna set this on here. The first one is always the hardest, y'all. When you start doing these fibers, the first one of these is the hardest one to do. And after that, it gets pretty easy. So you start with a loose wrap to kind of get it started on there. You start loose, but you have to pull it tight. But you have to do it, if that makes any sense, you have to do it loose to get it started. And then you're going to pull it tight. And we're going to pull this section back and then wrap from the other side to wrap this section. You're doing cross wraps on here just like you did the eyes of your fly. We're doing cross wraps right here. I might have to do an extra small layer back there. This one didn't turn out perfect like I like it, but it'll be all right. All right, we're gonna hold this back out of the way, y'all. These fibers go everywhere. When you're working with this fiber, like fibers and marabou stuff like that, it goes everywhere. So when you start tying with it, just expect it. I mean, it's not gonna. You have to make it kind of look perfect at the end when you get done. That's when you can kind of trim it up. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get a couple of inches right here. And do the same thing we just did, y'all. I know it looks weird. It's probably hard to follow on camera. But we're doing cross wraps right here. And after we get a couple of cross wraps, put like a little thread down. So right now this thing is just looking like it's got an afro. That's basically what it looks like right now. Y'all, I'm going to get a thin section right here, a little bit thinner section than what we just did. Because I'm going to put a thin section right here at the front, and I might go to a thin section at the back. You're basically creating a body of a crab, and you'll see what, in a little bit, whenever I go to finish it up, you'll see how it comes together. But we're just making the body of a crab right here, y'all. But it'll kind of come together at the end, and you'll see what I mean. Y'all, I'm just going to take and clip this extra stuff out of the way right here. You can use a clothespin, which is probably the best thing to use. I don't have a clothespin. You know, I don't ever do laundry. I just buy new clothes. I'm just kidding. I don't ever buy new clothes. Alright. Maybe if I had enough subscribers on YouTube, I'd buy some new clothes every once in a while. Alright. Right here at the head of it like this. It's tricky. Also a Run DMC song for all you old school people out there. Alright. Alright. Oh, sorry y'all. I have moved the camera. I apologize. Trying to get the camera close enough to where it's zoomed in on the fly. And then having room to tie the fly and all that. It's kind of a pain, but y'all, I'm gonna go back here to the back of the fly. As crazy as this is, I'm going to go back to the back of the fly right here. I'm going to add in one more section. Just because I'm OCD about it and I want it to look kind of perfect. So I'm going to add in one more section right here on the back of the fly, y'all. It's just going to be a small, thin section. Everybody watching, if y'all leave a comment, say something. It helps. If y'all leave a thumbs up, it really helps. And if you subscribe, it'd be awesome. We're going to add one more section right here. Same thing we've already done. We're just going to cross wrap it like that. We're going to pull this over. Now we just have to be careful because we got to do a couple of wraps right here. And then we have to do a couple of wraps and kind of work our way back up towards the front since I screwed up. But it's going to turn out just fine, y'all. I promise you. It's going to look just fine here in just a second. Because the cool thing is, after you get done with all this, you go back and you trim these fibers. And that's when it takes the shape of a crab. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about here in just a second. Right now, it just looks like a poodle with a bad hair day or something. Alright, we're going to tie this off real quick, y'all. We're going to tie this off. And then we're going to go back, trim it up. So it takes the shape of a crab. Alright. So as you see right now, it looks like a big old mess. But what we're going to do, you take and you pull this stuff out. This is actually not my best fly, but that's okay. We're going to take and we're going to pull this stuff out and we're going to trim it up, y'all. I don't have to think it looks cool as long as the fish do, but I can see right here where I messed up. I messed up putting that last bit on there. I got a gap right there. So I can't sell this fly, but I can fish with it. I messed up right there. Alright, y'all, let's trim this up. Give it first. I'm just doing my initial trim, and then I'll go back and make it look more prettier. This one will be fine to fish with, but I can't sell it because I messed up. But not every fly you tie is gonna be perfect, y'all. Maybe there's some dudes out there that can tie them perfect every time, but I messed that one up trying to go back on that last That last bit of body I was trying to do, I messed up on it. So what I'm doing is I'm just trimming. I'm making some of this kind of flatter. Just taking off some of the material. And like I said, this fiber stuff just kind of goes everywhere. So you just trim it up till you get it the way you want it to look. I wish I wouldn't have messed up that one little part, but it's fine. It will be okay, y'all. But I did mess up one little part of the fly, but it made it where it's not perfect enough to sail, but that's fine. All I'm doing, y'all, I'm flattening this right here. I kind of want to be flatter. All right, I messed up this fly, y'all, so it's not perfect. I apologize, but you kind of get the idea. But I did mess this one up a little bit. So as you can see, I have a gap right here. Kind of jack that one up. So can't sell it, but I can fish with it. They'll still eat it. The fish will eat it. It just don't look the best. All right, y'all. Let's move on to a little bit simpler fly. I know those are a little time consuming. Let's do a topwater fly, y'all. I was checking on my dog. She's over there making noises, but all right, let's do a topwater fly. There's I bought some material today to do, well, a few more topwater flies. I've been doing a bunch of them. Let's do some more real quick. All right, y'all, let's tie a topwater fly. So we're gonna start off. This is my hairline. I bought some purple. This is 3mm foam. We're gonna start off with a purple topwater fly. All right, the hooks. I use a little bit different hooks on my topwater flies. Where are they at? Right here. So we're gonna tie a topwater fly. I use a little bit different hook. These are the Umpqua, the saltwater. These are 2-aught. They're the TMC 811S hooks. But that's what we're gonna use. All right. Same thing. Go ahead, throw your hook on the vise like that. I happen to already have some purple thread. I already have some purple thread spooled up right here from where I was tying yesterday. This time of year, I try to tie almost every day as long as I'm not on the water. Dang it. That was already spooled, but I'm going to have to I've got 3, well, 2.5 boxes of flies right now tied up. I won't ever use all those flies, but all right, y'all. The way you spool the bobbin, you got this little thing right here. The thread catching apparatus. You're gonna put that down through there like that. Stick the thread through it. Which I'm getting old, so my near vision is starting to go. My far vision's still really good. I can still see a redfish a super long way out there. But all right, y'all, we got some purple in here. We're gonna go ahead and actually we're gonna start about halfway down with our thread base. Run our thread base about halfway down. I feel like this thread is gonna pop. Like it's not rolling. It's not rolling the best way. Hey, Mr. David. Let me take the sticker off here, y'all. That might be what's making it. See if that rolls a little bit easier. What is up with this thread? Come on, Betsy. Come on, Betsy. I don't even know. Alright, y'all. We're going to do a purple and black topwater fly. So, I'm going to grab a purple deer tail right here, straight out of Cali, and cut off a chunk of that. You don't need a big chunk. Don't need a big chunk on the purple tail. Alright, so we got some purple deer tail right here. Oh, this thread is not rolling off there worth a flip. It just makes me think it's going to end up popping. And then I'm going to have to retie. Alright, we're going to start putting this on here kind of loosely to start off. I'm trying to keep it from wrapping so much, but it's probably going to do it anyway. It don't really matter. Don't really matter. This thread's not rolling off here really good, so it's kind of jacking me up. There. So we got a little deer tail going on right there. This right here, all this is going to be covered up. It does not have to look perfect right now. So I just bought this right here today. This is made by It's a newer supply company, Fanatics Fly Company. I think their website is fanaticsflyco.com, company.com. But I bought it here at my local fly shop, which is No Wake Outfitters here in Louisiana. No Wake Outfitters in New Orleans. They're an excellent fly shop. Everything you need and more. They even, besides all the fly fishing stuff you need, they do kayaks. So they build out custom kayaks for people that like to fly, fish out of kayaks and stuff. All right, y'all, we're going to grab some of this flash right here. We're going to grab, I guess, several strands of it. This is a black and purple. I'm going to cut off some of that. And we're going to add some black and purple flash right here to our fly. So I'm just going to go under the thread like this right here. And get it started. I'm going to kind of lay it down parallel and get some more wraps on it. Oops, sorry, y'all. Alright, I'm going to grab some gold. Because you know how it is. You cannot go wrong with gold. I meant to buy some more of this right here today. I did not. But you know what? It gives me an excuse to go back to the fly shop and get some more. Alright, we're going to grab several strands of this gold. Like I said, it just gives me an excuse to go back to the fly shop and get some more, y'all. I go in there usually to pick up like one or two ingredients, and I end up getting all kinds of stuff. But today I only got the stuff that I needed, and I still forgot something. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna double this gold over, lay it right here on top. I'm gonna pull it down parallel. This is a topwater fly. It's a gurgler. Of course, you can use this any kind of aggressive game fish, bass or whatever. But I'm down here in Louisiana, so we use it for redfish down here. All right, y'all. Now we're going to go ahead and add a piece of a feather on there to add some body, or you can even take, I can actually do something a little bit different to show y'all. Trying to get all my stuff out of the way. Y'all, when you tie flies, you're gonna have junk laying everywhere. Y'all think I got enough, what you call it right here? I got a whole freaking box of it. What's this crap called? The chenille. I got a whole box of it, y'all. Let's see. And it's not in any kind of good, oh, there we go right there. There's some purple. It's not in any kind of good, I don't have it organized at all as far as color and stuff, y'all. So I got chenille laying everywhere in this thing. But we'll do a little bit of purple right here, just to show y'all. So I'm gonna grab some purple chenille. That's probably more than I need right there. So we're just, that's right, LSU colors right here now. This is a LSU gurgler right here, baby. So let's go ahead and get that chenille started. Sounds fancy when you say it, chenille. Sounds like something your girl ought to be out buying somewhere. What's up, Shamanda? Alright, now we're going to wrap this chenille. Up through here, like it's right here. Wrap it up, B. Alright, just run my thread right back down here. Alright, y'all. Let's cut our foam. This is just that hairline. It's 3mm foam right here. It's purple. There's an alternate. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do the body right here, y'all. You can add a feather. I could probably add one on there now just to show y'all. But you can put a feather on there to give it a little bit of body. You know what? Let's just be crazy and throw a feather on top of this just to show y'all. Just to show y'all, y'all, comma, y'all. Alright, let's grab a one of these purple feathers right here. These birds are found along the coastline of California. They're purple birds. Right here, y'all. But these feathers right here are not going back to Cali. They're going to be on the fly here in just a second. Alright, so this thick part right here, I always cut that off because it's going to be too thick to wrap. I don't mean wrap like Andre 2000 or 3000, I mean. But anyway. Alright. We're putting this on here, y'all, just to kind of show y'all. I kind of obviously already put a body on there, but just to show you. That's the thing about tying flies, y'all. You can make a fly look like super, you know, like something supernatural, like an actual fly or whatever you're tying. But you know what? You don't have to. You can tie a fly however you want. We're gonna take some clippers right here, clip it to the end of the fly. And now I'm going to have to back this up we're going to wrap these feathers around the body of the fly. And this don't have to be super tight. Like, you don't have to wrap the feathers. When I say tight, they don't have to be up against the other wrap. You do that with some of your flies, but with this topwater fly, you don't really have to worry about that. We're just doing that. Oh, did y'all see my clips? My little clips came undone just then. That's alright, I can hand wrap it. Right there at the end, and my clips came undone, y'all. On some flies, when you're wrapping the feathers like that, you want to wrap them pretty tight to each other, but on this fly, it don't really matter. Alright, now we're just going to tie that off or wrap that up. Alright, and that, as it stands, looks like a great little fly, but we're making this into a topwater fly, y'all. So we're going to take a piece of this foam. This is at 3 millimeter. So it's thick. If y'all like it, if y'all like them thick, that's thick right there. Alright, y'all, and we're going to kind of cut down through here, and it's going to be like kind of like a triangle. I'll show you what I mean. There's all kinds of ways to do this. You can get fancy with it and cut it like a paddle or whatever, but so there it is. And it's not even perfect looking, but y'all, it don't have to be. I can trim it up right there a little bit, but it does not have to be perfect looking, trust me. Alright, now this is going to be the part that so the hook is going to be up, sticking out of the water. This is going to be the part that's in contact with the water. We're going to lay this down like this right here. And there's all kinds of ways to tie these gurglers, y'all. I mean, you can probably look it up online, and there's a ton of ways to tie them. Alright, now we're going to flip this like this. We're going to flip it. And we're going to add a lip. My fly thing does rotate, but I like turning like this right here. You can go ahead and cut that off. Now we're just gonna tie this up really tight. Like so. Now we're gonna hold this down, the little lip right here, and then wrap it up. Wrap it up. All right. Now we'll tie it off. Thank y'all for watching. Everybody that's watching, please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. When you tie these off, you kind of got to hold that lip down. When you get ready to tie these off, it's like you're working with Bubba from Forrest Gump. Just gotta hold down and wrap it up. All right. Now we're just going to add some glue to our little tie-off right there. You just want to add some glue to your little tie. Hit it with ultraviolet light. Don't burn your fingertip off. Don't sunburn your fingertip. Y'all, we got 27 people watching. I've only got 12 thumbs up, y'all. If y'all take the split second and hit that thumbs up for me, it helps so much. Alright, y'all. Quick, easy little topwater gurgler fly. So what happens is you tie your line right here to the thing. Your leader off your fly line. And when you pull it, this right here obviously goes across the top of water and it splashes water up. It's just a quick, easy little topwater fly, y'all. That's basically about it on that. And you can do them in all kinds of colors. This one's obviously purple, but there's like a chartreuse one right here with a white tail. Yeah, I mean you can do them. Here's a more of a shrimpy color, like a little tan shrimpy color. So you can do them in all kinds of colorways for all you fancy people. You can do them in all kinds of colorways, y'all. Ain't that what they call it nowadays? Colorways or something like that. That's what them fancy people call it. All right, y'all. Let's tie one more of those. Let's go with another LSU fly. Let me find my hooks. Now I've got a ton of hooks, but let me find the ones I need. Thank y'all. Somebody hit the thumbs up for me. It was at 12 and it's at 13 now. So thank y'all very much. Let's tie another one of those real quick. Oh, this thread is just not rolling off here easy at all today. It's being a pain. Being a pain in the booty. Y'all, I can tell my dogs are getting kind of anxious for some attention. This is probably the last one I tie. I've been tying, I think, for how long have I been tying? Hour and 41 minutes, y'all. So we'll tie this one real quick, and then I will be done for the evening. All right, we're gonna grab a purple deer tail, and what we're doing, we're taking a chunk of purple deer tail right here. It don't have to be a big chunk. We're taking a chunk of purple deer tail. That one's kind of that's a thin little piece of deer tail. This deer tail has been on Ozempic. All right. And we're gonna start wrapping the deer tail. Wrap the deer tail on there like that. It did not turn out perfect, but that is fine. Alright, now we're going to add some purple and black flash to it. Just grab several strands like that. Wrap it under our thread. Get it started. Hold it down to the side. These flies are really quick and easy to tie once you start tying these topwater gurglers, y'all. So if you got a trip coming up, you want to tie you want to fish topwater flies a lot, they're quick and easy to tie up. I'm talking and adding commentary and stuff, so it seems like it might be taking a little bit longer, but you can tie a bunch of these up really quick. As you can tell, y'all, I need some more gold flash. I've got more down there, but this right here is almost out. Alright, y'all, so we're going to take our gold flashing, wrap it around. We're making that LSU. We're making that tiger. That tiger gurgler right here, y'all. Well, thank you, Shamanda. Alright, now let's grab a feather. You know what? Let's go ahead and put a piece of... We'll do consistent like we did the other one. We'll grab a piece of purple chenille. We'll just tie this one the way we did the other one, y'all. So it's kind of consistent looking. Alright, so we got a purple chenille. I'm going to get that started. Move this up out of the way. Go ahead and wrap the chenille. Then let it slip out of your hand. I'm going to throw a wrap right there. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Get out of the kitchen. Dog in there eating cat food. He's confused, I guess. Alright. Alright, y'all, let's grab a purple feather. Saddle hackle for all y'all critiquers out there. Grab one piece of saddle hackle. Alright, on the saddle hackle, y'all. Oh, look at the baby. The little baby saddle hackle. On the saddle hackle, you don't need this thick part right here. It's not really going to twist. It's going to end up breaking. So I just cut that off. I mean, you can use it on flies for other things, but I usually cut that off. Now we're going to go ahead and put the saddle hackle on here. Wrap it up. Alright, I'm going to get that out of the way. We're going to wrap the saddle hackle real quick. Let me pull this back so it's kind of out of the way of the camera. Wrap this around. This is just giving it some body. These flies are really good as far as redfish if you're fishing super shallow water, like maybe like where there's a canal dumping out or like a little drainage ditch coming out and the reds are kind of stacked up in one spot. Super shallow. Throw one of these Topwater gurglers out there and strip it across there and hold on tight. Alright, y'all. We got a 3mm foam right here. We're going to cut off a piece of foam right here, y'all. like so. We're gonna pull this thing's hair back and then start wrapping. Or fold this over. Like so. And then do some pretty tight wraps, hopefully without breaking your thread. Alright, now we're going to put like a little thread down and tie it off. So we're going to hold this down, let's do some wraps right here. Tie this off, throw some glue on it, and we will be done with this evening's performance, y'all. Ooh, that was, my thread came off my little wrapper. I almost had a mess up right there. All right. Throw some glue. My hands are starting to cramp up, y'all, and I drink water like crazy, but my hands are cramping up from doing this. Throw some glue right here over the fabric, or not fabric, over the knot. Thank y'all for the like. Somebody's hitting the like button. It is a topwater fly, Shamanda. Alright. Just hitting that glue with the light. And then the lip, it'll pop back up right here. These hooks are super sharp, y'all. I have stabbed myself a few times doing this. Alright, y'all. Little topwater gurgler. Obviously, you'll tie your leader right here. Up to, that goes up to your fly line. When you cast this out, it's going to float on top of the water. This right here grabs water and shoots it forward. So when you're stripping it, you're going to strip, and it's going to make this thing shoot water out, everybody. And that's it. Quick, easy. My dog's right here whining because they want some attention. So this will be the last fly I did tonight. So y'all, we done this one. We did that other topwater. And we did a couple of crab flies tonight, y'all. If you missed that, we tied this little crab right here, little eyeballs. You can do it like that, and it just looks like a dude smiling at you with a bad hair day. What's up, guys? So he's like, get his little arm sticking out. He's like, what's up, y'all? But anyway, we tied this right here. We tied 2 of these. Is what we started off tying. This one right here, I didn't really want to show y'all because I messed up on it at the very end. So all that work and I kind of messed up on it right there. See, it's got a gap. I screwed up right at the end, so I can't sell it. I can still use it. The fish will still eat it, but it looks bad. All right, thank y'all for watching, everybody. I gotta go take care of the dogs. Thank y'all. Please subscribe, all that stuff. Thank y'all.